Hello and welcome in, everybody. We got One Piece chapter 1138, the post-game show. So today we're going to be going through the comment section, seeing what we're all talking about the latest chapter of One Piece and all that good stuff. So with that being said, let's get into it. You know, short, sweet, and simple intro because 1139 is right around the corner. It's already Monday, y'all. It's already Monday. So top comment says he laughed because he knew it wasn't his problem anymore. Yeah, good old Roger, dude. Ooh. I mean, here's the thing, right? Would Roger have participated in the Third World War One Piece if he was still alive? Because he'd kind of be like Garp in a way, where Garp was throwing cannonballs, and he was like, you know, that's half as powerful as it was back then. And then, of course, we had him in Hachinosu, and we could tell he was severely nerfed as well. And then there's Whitebeard, who literally had, like, cancer, some life-altering disease. So yeah, like, would Roger fight? I think so. I think he would want to participate, but then again, it kind of goes back to what Rayleigh said in Sabaody, where he said that when they learned the truth of the world, they came to a certain answer, right? I wonder what that answer was. Did they opt out of the war entirely, or did they just want to wait for the sun god to appear and let them take the stage? That's kind of what I'm thinking of right now, but we will see, we will see. I want more of Roger, right? We're in Elbaph. We know he's been here before. Give us a Elbaph Roger flashback, please. Which also, the guy with the hat. The guy with the hat, dude, he's coming in hot. He's right there. He's about to enter the castle and see Luffy, Zoro, and Nami. So, if it is a Roger pirate, we could get a Roger flashback. So, down below, same person, they say, I have a feeling the Third World War will start the same time World War III starts IRL. Oda is cooking beyond human limits. Oh yeah. World War III, hey, let's hope that never happens. Let's hope that never happens. Shamrocks, Daddy, I want a pet dog. Garling says, sure, let me call the blacksmiths. And Shamrock says, what, yeah? Must be an awkward conversation. And, you know, spinning this off and over to Shanks. Hey, I know it's pure speculation, but I do want to believe that Shanks either has a sword that can turn into a griffin, because it's named Griffin, or it is a sword that lost the ability because he's no longer a part of the Holy Land. So, going down below, they say, dude, when Loki is freed, he's gonna be so mad that wounds don't matter. It will be Ragnarok time. This one says he will go full Broly mode. Instead of Kakarot, he will scream a Shamrock. He might just scream for Garland. Granted, he doesn't know their last name, but, you know, scream for Garland. You got Shamrock in there, you got Shanks in there, 2-for-1 special. But yeah, Loki, he might just be so mad that all of the stab wounds, all of the beatings don't matter. And I would admit that maybe Gonko didn't do the most damage, because when a woman kicks you, you know, if you're a feet lover like myself, then it's no big deal. But being stabbed by 3 dogs, that does not sound like a fun time. Which is why I do believe that maybe whatever powers Loki has might actually heal him. I think. It's either that or Loki's just going to be severely nerfed. Or, like you said, wounds just won't matter. Maybe the rage really will fuel him in that battle. Which I do think would be kind of interesting, right? We know that Luffy is fueled by laughter and imagination. What if Loki does have like a sun god of destruction mode devil fruit, and he is fueled by anger? The more he disdains you, the stronger he gets? That wouldn't be bad, but it would be kind of like a Rouge, right? That's stepping on a Rouge's territory. Because a Rouge, we don't know what devil fruit he has, but when you hit him, he does his karmic retribution and he gets bigger and stronger. So I was like, oh, would that be redundant? I don't know. Shanks sacrifices his arm to tell Luffy how to differentiate between the twin brothers. And that's true. I mean, hey, Shanks also got a haircut. And maybe, if you want to spin it, maybe Blackbeard did Shanks a favor as well, you know, by giving him that scar. Blackbeard simply said, hey, I can't tell you guys apart. And Shanks says, get me right here, brother. Get me right there. Down below, they say the last arc is going to be the best arc in fiction. Yeah, the last arc is going pretty well, especially considering Egghead is a part of that. Yeah, so we have Egghead, where we have Elbaph, and then pretty much everything beyond is a part of that final saga. So it's gonna be really hard to top that, man. It's gonna be really hard to top that. I think Shanks probably spent a couple of months or maybe years in the Holy Land. I believe he saw the treasure Dofi was talking about and left after he found information about the Gum Gum fruit. Timeline-wise, this would be a little bit hard because we don't know when Shanks established his crew, but if he had his crew at this point in time, what would he tell his crew? Like, hey guys, I gotta go home. You guys just wait for me. Like, maybe it's their version of a 3D2Y where the Straw Hat's separated for a little bit. Except for this case, it's just Shanks going to the Holy Land. I don't know. But also, it's hard to think about Shanks going to Marie-Joie because it feels like a place where they wouldn't let him leave. Right? We're talking about Garling, Shamrock, Emu, the Gorosei, whatever other God Knights are there as well. Like, I don't know. I really got to see that flashback. But personally, I don't think he was there for that long. I think it was a simple hello, goodbye. Maybe even just like a weekend stay, right? Like the Reverie, how that only lasts like 1 week. Maybe it's like that. Maybe it's like that. The greatest of Luffy's power is to gather everyone to fight Emu in the last arc. Mihawk already spoiled the ending in the Summit War arc already. Yes, Mihawk, I mean, I think this is always relevant, just Luffy gathering allies. This has been true pretty much since the start of One Piece, right? Yeah, I'd say it's pretty much true ever since the start of One Piece. Like, he's gathered people who do not like him. Zoro did not like Luffy at the very beginning. Nami didn't like him, and etc. Like, he's just gaining allies left and right. This comment says, finally, I've been waiting for this video for the entire day, wondering why Sai hasn't uploaded yet. I even stayed awake all night for this. Damn, man, perfect timing. I have my coffee ready for this. Let's go. Funny enough, I also have my coffee ready as well. For me, though, it's like late at night, and I'm really tired, so that's why I'm kind of hyper right now, because I'm drinking. So, this says, I think Shanks went to Marie-Joie after Roger's execution. After that execution, when Buggy spoke to Shanks that it's your era, Shanks held back and said that he won't be becoming a pirate immediately. I think that is when he went to Marie-Joie. Oh, okay, that's not bad. That's a good fit. That's a good fit. As far as how he learned of this identity, I think Roger told him while disabandoning the crew. And that's probably why he cried. Sabo stated that he never expected for Hell to be atop the Red Line, and Shamrock holds the Cerberus, which is the guard dog of Hell. And this directly makes Shamrock the warden of Hell? Question mark? I think so, but also I think a lot of the other God Knights, and maybe even like Garling too, right? I think they will also sport demonic, monstrous weaponry, or just powers in general. So I think past the Cerberus, we might even see like Hades, right? That's just like the first thing that popped in my mind. But anything hell related or demon related or monster related even, I think we will see that. The Cerberus, I think, is just scratching the surface. But outside of that though, I like the timeline here. Obviously we had the comment earlier above that was like, hey, like maybe he went when he was younger, maybe he went and stayed like a couple of years or months. Yeah, I think this would be a really good time to go. Yeah, and it would make sense as to why he didn't want to become a pirate immediately. Maybe because he did want to go to the Holy Land. As far as how he found out, it doesn't have to be Roger, but I think that his family could have also just sent him a letter. I think that'd be pretty cool, right? Like imagine you get a letter from like 23andMe and they're like, hey, by the way, you know, you took your DNA test and you got a family out there, man. You want to go visit them? Which personally, I wouldn't. I feel like I've seen a lot of horror movies like that. Maybe I'd feel differently if I was in that situation, but I don't know. If you guys lived your entire life with your family, biological family, like you got your mom, dad, whatever, but you get a message out of nowhere saying, hey, you got another family on the side. You know, you got a brother. Would it be a stepdad? I don't know. You know, you got like a dad out there somewhere. Like, would you go visit? I don't know. Like, I feel like I watched a horror movie a while back called Amelia's Children. And I know it's not realistic. It's a freaking horror movie, but I don't know. It puts the fear of God in me, man. You know, you never know what you're going to expect, right? In a way, they're almost strangers. Down below, they say Zoro's literally the king of hell. He's taking that sword. I don't believe he is. I will stand by this. I do not think Zoro's taking the sword. If Zoro were to take this sword, what would he replace it with? He has Enma, which is the Hellblade. He has Kuina's blade, which is the Blade of Promise. And then he has the Katetsu. Like, he's not trading any of those, in my opinion, especially when, you know, the one sword you could argue he might get rid of is Katetsu, but we still have that interaction with V Nasujiro where he said, oh, like, Kitetsu, and then Zoro looked at him and said, wait, Katetsu, you know what I mean? Like, that's still like unresolved. I don't see him taking this blade, and of course, it's not the type of sword Zoro uses in general. Like, Zoro only uses katanas. He's only picked up a blade like Shamrock's once, and I believe that was even just filler. So yeah, I don't think Zoro's taking the sword. I think it would be cool if Zoro had a Cerberus because he is like the king of hell, or that's his epithet, but I don't think it's gonna happen. It wouldn't fit his character, I would say. It wouldn't fit his character. This one says, oh yes, Sai knows my panel. Ripley holding Frankie like a toy is peak. The last page is cool and all, but Frankie rizzing up Colin's mom is what I needed as a Frankie fan. Frankie never... I love this. Just, yep, Frankie rizzing up Colin's mom. This is what we wanted. You know, forget the mural, forget Shamrock, Frankie and Colin's mom. But Just wait till Colin's dad shows up, because I think Colin's dad would kill Frankie. I'm gonna be honest. You know, they already said that Colin's dad, you know, he wouldn't bend the knee to any and all of the giants here in Elbaph. I mean, that's hella rep, right? So we got to be careful. You know, maybe Frankie is up and at it right now, but maybe come tomorrow he's gonna be looking like Emmeth by the end of Egghead Island. So right down below they say the theories for this chapter will feed the community for months. I'm so happy. Yeah, and I know this is gonna sound so stupid, but Oda, that guy, Oda, he's been doing 2 chapters break, 1 chapter break, 3 chapters break. He's been doing that for a long time now. We've kind of accepted the fact that that is One Piece's schedule. Like, oh, like we just get breaks like at least twice a month, right? That's normal. That's normal. It's no big deal. But the one time in 3 years that Oda decided to break that formula and do 4 chapters in a row is after the biggest lore drop in One Piece history. I thought about making like dedicated theory videos, but I was like, wait, the chapter comes out in like a couple of days. You know, the next chapter's here, Oda. You know, like the one time I kind of wanted a break to really dissect it. He said, nope, we're not stopping. We're gonna keep on going. This next comment says, I think the flying whale is Uranus, and the original arc Maxim is Pluton. The water drops are above the whale, just like you said, and those are lasers Uranus shot at Leloucia. The Kozuki, Moonliner Japanese, are the full moon people. They are descendants of the moon people, Birkins, from Enel's cover page story. That is why they have Pluton in underground Wano. Okay, this isn't bad. Let me see here. Let me just like reread this. Flying whale is Uranus. Okay. I like this. I don't mind the flying whale being Uranus. I think the only hang up for me, and of course, like, it's not just me that thinks this, but like, Emu might have Uranus right now. So does Emu control the flying whale with the Mother Flame? And also, do you use the Mother Flame to feel Uranus? I know it's not confirmed that they have it, but it's kind of like assumed, right? And you assume it as well, right? Let me see here. Yeah, Uranus shot lasers at Leloucia. So you also agree that Emu has Uranus. So how are we gonna get that whale back, right? And then with the whale, like, is it mechanical then? Because it uses the Mother Flame as a source? There's so many questions about the ancient weapons. There really are. As far as the original arc Maxim, this is also another odd one too, because I've seen people saying that there's been like an arc Maxim of the past, and I like that idea, but we have no inkling of that yet. I mean, unless we assume that the mural is like the first world, second world. But like I said, like this comment said, right? There's so many theories off of this chapter. It's like, where do we go? Like where do we go? Overall, I don't think this is a bad idea, but of course we do need to take like a couple of steps to actually get there. All right, so now down to the next comment. They say, I don't think Frankie's blocking anything. He's supposed to be part of the mural, and that's why he's shaded in a way that he blends into it. I feel like he's supposed to represent Pluton. Frankie's supposed to represent Pluton in that mural. I don't mind it. No, I don't think that's bad. I think I've seen a couple people say this as well. And of course, Frankie, he did see the Pluton blueprints. So if Frankie ever wanted to recreate Pluton or, you know, whatever he saw, I think he could. I really think he could. I think you just need to give Frankie the resources, and yeah, he could probably become Pluton or make Pluton. I don't think that's bad at all. For me, at least, when it comes to Frankie's placement in the mural, it's more so of the fact that he's blocking the center of the mural, right? Whatever the Arc Maxim lightning is hitting, Frankie is blocking, right? It looks like the Arc Maxim shoots lightning, it goes past the elephant into the tree, and it hits whatever is at the center. So that's why I think Frankie is blocking something, but I also do agree that Frankie could also represent Pluton. I think both can be true at the same time, actually. I think they can both be true. One thing I noticed, Shanks was a lefty. Used his left hand to use the sword before he bet that on Luffy-senpai, but Shamrock uses a right hand immediately in the first panel. I mean, it's nothing big, but it is what it is. Great video though, love. Also, the ship stuff. The one on the right, all 3 have stripes and vertical, but the one on the left has 4 stripes. So it might be that 4-striped one changed sides and is using the rotated flag to show their allegiance has changed. Yep, and same with the vertical. But also, it's hard to tell if this is like an intentional detail or not, because this is a kid's drawing, right? Like Ripley was like, yeah, like a kid drew this like 800, 900 years ago. So it's like, I would like to believe that the kid put that much thought into it, or Oda put that much thought into it, but I don't even know. This could just be like a crazy, you know, like generic depiction of a ship. But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens later, and I feel like this will be something we come back and reference later. Once we finish One Piece, we can come back to this mural and start putting the pieces together. Like, okay, this is what that was supposed to be, this is what that was supposed to be, and vice versa. Down below, they say, With every arc that passes, we get to laugh slightly harder at the people who skipped Skypiea. Yeah, Skypiea was really important. Skypiea I still think is a really slow arc, but I think it is still a good arc nonetheless. This right here says, Yamato is following the path of Odin. She has to have her own scabbards, the Flying Six. Yeah, Yamato with the Toby Roppo. If Yamato were to commandeer them, she could just have her own crew. Because at first I was like, maybe Yamato joins the Grand Fleet. You know, she did get that invitation from Luffy at the end of Wano, and I love that idea. But if Yamato has the Flying Six, I mean, technically they can make their own crew. Or it could just be another step towards Odin's journey, because Odin had the scabbards, and then he left them behind and joined Whitebeard, and then Roger. Decisions. Hey, personally, I still love the idea of Yamato joining the Straw Hats. I don't think it's gonna happen anymore, but I still like the idea. You know, a man can hope and pray. This comment says, can we talk about how maybe the giant child that made the mural at the end of the chapter could have had a future sight ability like Madame Charlie at Fishman Island? Yes. I think this is really the only plausible answer. It's either an ability like Madame Charlie, or it could be a devil fruit. Or maybe somebody told them about this, right? Maybe there was another Madame Charlie that told the kid about it, and then the kid drew the mural. But that'd be weird. I do agree with what Ripley said. Well, she didn't even say it, she like guessed. But she said, oh, maybe this was a child's dream. Maybe a kid dreamt and they had an ability like Madame Charlie without even knowing it, and then they just decided to draw it on the Atom tree. Can't wait for the Garland family reunion. It's gonna be super weird and awkward, and I want Luffy and Gunko present there as well. A hilarious scenario. Also, for Gunko's Devil Fruit, it's more like the Vector Fruit, which is represented with arrows in physics. As for now, it's functioning pretty much like Accelerator's power from the Index series, but not as powerful as Accelerators. We will see in future chapters. Accelerator, too, can fly with his powers. I've never watched Index, actually. I've never watched Index. I should give it a try. I am open to new animes. Right now, I'm currently watching, obviously, the airing animes like Sakamoto Days, Apothecary Diary Season 2, the best anime of the season. Solo Leveling. Oh, wait. Solo Leveling's also really good. Solo Leveling or Apothecary Diaries? If you guys watch both, let me know. Which one are you a bigger fan of? Because I can't really pick. Sakamoto's good, but it's not like the GOAT, right? It's not the GOAT of winter. But yeah, outside of airing animes right now, I'm currently watching Bungo Stray Dogs. I'm on season 5, and that's been a fun ride too. But it kind of has the One Piece problem. Not even a problem, but good. In Bungo Stray Dogs, bro, they do not kill characters. In One Piece, it's fine because you know they have plot armor, but in Bungo Stray Dogs, my god, you get so many cliffhangers where a character supposedly dies, and then next episode they're alive. It's bad. I'm not gonna spoil too much, but ooh. But yeah, overall though, I like the Vector Fruit, and now that you say that, I can really see it. It really is like a vector. People are banging right on top of my head. Huh? Sai Zunisha confirmed? Also, on the mural, the shadow on the left, it looks like Magellan. The shadow on the left. Oh yeah, with his crazy, people say it's awakened. I don't think it's awakened yet, but his crazy like red poison demon. Yeah, I could kind of see that. Also, shout out to Magellan. Didn't think anyone would bring him up in this video, but love Magellan. One of my favorite characters, man. He needs to come back. Shout out to Magellan because, dude, him and Doflamingo, I love it whenever they're on screen. And plus, next time we see Magellan, you know who else we're gonna see? Bon Clay. Bon freaking Clay. That's the Gorosei right there with the 5 men on the boat on Imu's side. And one fell off, already signifying Saturn getting off by Imu, and one boat just below the giant's foot could be Alabasta. The person has long hair, just like Vivi's. Yep, I think one of the boats is going to be Alabasta. And I have seen people saying it could be the Gorosei. Personally, I feel like it might be Blackbeard because it's like a pirate ship. And then the Gorosei are like the stars above the demon. But then again, I think I already talked about that in the video. But yeah, overall, I like the Gorosei idea. Actually, if you look as well, there's 6 people on the boat. There's actually 6 people on the boat. So we could have one signifying that Saturn fell off, and then the 5th person on the boat would be Garling. If that is what Oda is going for, that'd be kind of cracked. I do wish that when One Piece is over, Oda releases a, not manuscript, but like an entire book listing all the Easter eggs and secrets and his thought process behind some things. Like imagine this mural, and Oda draws out like everything each reference was supposed to be, right? Like, oh, like this actually was the Gorosei. Ooh, that over there, that's actually not Loki. That's harden, which I think Loki's better, but you know what I mean. I think that'd be really sick. And honestly, I would buy that, right? I think everybody here would probably buy a One Piece encyclopedia book where Oda just shares all of his thoughts. Maybe that's what they do afterwards, right? You know, series always struggled to make money after it's over. Oda could just release it. Release the black box, brother. In the earth, there was flame. The mother flame could be referring to the core of the planet. The drawing shows people going down into the fire and retrieving the core, which is the flame. Ooh, I like this. Funny enough, I thought about not this, but I was like, oh, maybe they're going down for rocks. You know, maybe they're going down for diamonds. But this makes way more sense than what I thought, man. I like that. Yeah. They're going down to the core of the planet to retrieve flame or fire. This would actually make a lot of sense. And also, so I don't believe this, but I do respect the idea. And of course, there's nothing to prove otherwise. But if the right side of the mural is the first world, and if what we're witnessing are people going down and retrieving flame, and then it gets delivered to the serpent, that could explain why it's a fire serpent or a hellfire serpent, right? Because they're giving it the flame. This actually makes a lot of sense. I don't mind this at all. But this is just one part of the puzzle, right? This is the very first sentence. There's like a whole other thing about the sun god appearing, the slaves praying, and then the sun god fighting the earth god and the serpent. Like the sun god's appearance, why would that be bad for them? Unless they don't want people to take the flame? I don't know. So this one says, don't doubt Sanji. He could hold them off. I could see him cooking up a filet dog that'd make your ancestors proud. Funny enough, I didn't realize I did this. Somebody else pointed it out, and I saw the comment too. They were like, oh, Sai, you left Sanji out on the lineup. That's foul. Like, Sanji's catching strays. I was like, whoa. That was a mistake. You know, when I list off all the Straw Hats, especially like by zones, because like they're all split up right now, sometimes I forget one or two. Looks like I left out Sanji, but I put in Jinbei, and I think I put in like Zoro and everybody else, and I was like, oh god, no. Oh no, I love Sanji, guys. I love him. I think Sanji and Jinbei could definitely stall them out. But as far as beating them goes, I don't think Sanji can beat Shamrock. And then as far as Gunko goes, Sanji can't even fight her. So I think they could stall him. I don't think they could beat him. But yeah, this was an accident. This was an accident. So right down below, they say, I like the idea that the sword and shield that we see our Luffy-Nika holding in the mural are representative of Zoro, and the sword is Sanji as a shield by his side for the final war. I saw another really good theory that the shield, right, the sun logo, and I think the Alabasta logo, where it's like a circle and a lot of circles around it, that has 9 dots. And somebody said, oh, Sai, what if those 9 dots are the Straw Hats? And I was like, wow, it's pretty good, right? Because there's Luffy, and then he has his 9 Nakama. So maybe that is what the shield is representing. I don't know about that one yet, but I thought that was a pretty cool idea. But also, I am a big fan of Zoro and Sanji being the sword and shield as well. Because let's be real. Would Luffy ever wield weapons in the final war? I just can't imagine it. And that's crazy to say, because the first sun god that we saw with Who's Who, he had a spear and a sword. And then this sun god has a dagger. Well, it's a sword, but he's holding it like a dagger. He has a dagger, sword, and he has a shield. And I'm like, okay, both iterations of Nika have weapons. Luffy would never hold a weapon, so it's gotta be like symbolic, right? Or at least I think. I don't know. I mean, we do know that Luffy likes weapons. He just can't use them. Like, Luffy picked up a sword back at the start of Wano, and he didn't use it. You know, he picked up the blade, and he punched with it. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing, dude. If Luffy was at least a little bit decent, I'd be like, okay, he's cooking. I'm trying to think. There was another instance where he picked up a weapon as well, and it pains me that I don't remember who he was fighting, but he picked up swords and he was trying to swing them, and then he was like, yeah, like, I can't swing a sword, I can't lie. Oh, it was Arlong. Luffy was fighting Arlong, and he picked up some swords and he was trying to swing them, but I think he missed like every attack. And the idea was that he couldn't use swords, and that's why he has Zoro. And he can't cook, and that's why he has Sanji, and he can't lie, so that's why he has Usopp. I think it was a really cool moment. All right, so this one says, so for me, I see the first world ending is saying how the red line was formed and how they will never meet again is how it divided the world. Oh, wait, this is a good idea. They will never meet again, or they won't meet again, could be referring to the ocean because of the red line. Wait, that's actually solid. And then they will meet again could just be in reference to the all blue where all the oceans mix. Wait. I've never heard this idea. That's cool. The second, explaining how the calm belt were made and they will never meet again, about how the lack of currents and sea kings guarding it further divided the world. And that last bit on the third line, they will surely meet again, is about how the world can intermingle again and how much of the world can change, and some of it being destroyed, not just the institutions that get taken down by Luffy or Nika or whatever, destroying the red line and bringing a new age into the world. Yes. Yeah, no, I like this idea a lot. Yeah, he destroys the red line, islands get terraformed, and then boom, all blue is formed and the oceans meet again. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. This is the first time I've heard this idea. Not bad, not bad. If Shanks, his sword, can turn into a griffin, it could help explain how he gets to places quickly. He can literally fly on his sword. That would be awesome. Yes! And it would explain how he stopped King and Kaido from going to Marineford, right? Because beforehand, we were like, okay, like, how did he do it? Was King and Kaido sailing on a boat together, just two guys? Or were they flying, right? Because King and Kaido are the only two beast parts that can fly. So I was like, okay, like, if they're flying, how did Shanks stop them? Did he try to shoot them down? You know, did he get Ben Beckman and Yasop to do the job? Well, maybe he just flew up there. You know, maybe he just flew on his freaking griffin. I like how different size takes are on the Harley text and mural is compared to most theories I've seen. He cooked. Based on the right side of the mural and the context of Vegapunk talking about the eternal flame, and with how Luffy's Drums of Liberation was able to jumpstart Emeth, I think the Forbidden Star-Sun is Joy Boy's spirit-dream power that the masses tapped into and were enslaved for and summoned. Sun God Nika and the oppressors at the time may have manifested a Earth God to battle with Nika, and both lost and created the red line in the process. Yeah, that'd be crazy. I do want to see what the other gods look like, right? We know what Nika looks like right now, but what did the Earth God look like in the past? I know that's not the question or theory you're kind of proposing here, but if the will of the people is what brought the Earth God into existence, and maybe by extension, the Sea God and the Forest God, what do they look like? I'm so curious now. Are they just like a brown version of Joy Boy, a green version of Joy Boy, and then a blue version of Joy Boy? That doesn't make sense. Like, is Joy Boy going to be the one god that's small and human-like? Or was the original Nika this massive sun monster, right? I'm so curious. So with that being said though, guys, we're gonna end it right there. Thank you so much for being here. Again, appreciate all the comments. Couldn't do this video without y'all, and I love interacting and seeing what you guys are talking about. So it's a win-win across the board. But yes, the new chapter is right around the corner, so be prepared for that, and I will catch you all next time. My name is Sai, and I'm signing out. Peace.